All right, how we doing tonight on this new release night? Hopefully everybody is having a good day. We have a little bit of information that we're going to go over before we start ripping into things. And also, I think we may have some unpaid teams tonight, but we'll take a look at it again after we go over our pre-break info. So let me get that up and running. So first things first, feedback is completely automated. And you know that's on here just because I get asked that question a lot. So that's just to let you know, anytime you leave positive feedback for me, you're going to instantly get positive feedback in return because mine is automated. Yay, automation. And of course, the second thing there is simply to say thank you. Always appreciate you being here, bidding and breaking and chatting and hanging out with me, keeping me company and such. We are going to take a look now at what is coming up in the days ahead. So tomorrow night, Thursday night, we'll be opening Leaf Trinity football, some 5-star baseball, and National Treasures collegiate football, all by the full case. On Friday, we'll break the back half of the Luminaries case that we start tonight. We'll finish it on Friday. And we will also open Chronicles Baseball by the full case on Friday. On Saturday, it is a 16-box master case of unparalleled football. And a master case, of course, is 2 8-box inner cases. Sunday is an off night, and Monday is kind of a rinse and repeat of Thursday. It will be Trinity football, 5-star baseball, and National Treasures collegiate football again in that Monday night lineup. Here's what you need to know for tonight. So we have a free shipping break tonight. That's Luminaries, and a paid shipping break, which is Contenders Draft Picks Basketball. And those are actually two kind of different sets of things there. So the free shipping break, which is Luminaries, free shipping stuff with me is always projected to go out no later than a week after the fact. So that just means it should be on the way to you no later than Wednesday, the 11th of September. Now, a lot of times it goes sooner, but just means won't be any later than that. Our paid shipping break tonight is Contenders Draft Picks Basketball, and I'm projecting it to get out the door approximately Saturday. If I can get it sent sooner, I will. If something unanticipated happens, it could always slide to Monday, but right now I project that it will be Saturday. I don't think we have to worry about consolation cards and Contenders Draft Picks. I would expect that all teams will pull some cards, base or otherwise. However, in Luminaries, if your team is not one of the teams that is pulled out in the break, you are still entitled to a consolation trading card that can be from any year in any series, and I do keep track of it for a rolling 90-day period. Normally in the free shipping breaks, the consolation cards are held and shipped with your next package just because it is a free shipping break. But if you want that card sent by itself sooner, just in a plain white envelope, you just hit me up on eBay and let me know, and I will gladly take care of it for you. Normally, we would move right over into our spreadsheet and get ready to go, but I think that we might have some unpaid teams still hanging out there. So let me go take a look and see what is up for grabs here with Luminaries. And it looks like both of the Chicagos. So I need to find a home for both the Cubs and the White Sox. The White Sox last bid amount was $37. The Cubs last bid amount was $42. As always, preference is going to go to someone who would be interested in picking up both teams. If no one wants to pick up both teams, then we would look at selling them individually. So I need to find homes for those. So please let me know who is interested in the Cubs or the White Sox. And while you guys are thinking about that for a minute, I need to go grab my my utility knife that I left laying in the other room opening these boxes. So give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay, well, if no one's interested in the Cubs and the White Sox, we can go ahead and move over and break our Contenders Draft Picks basketball first. And circle back around to luminaries if we need to. And contenders draft picks, looks like we have one unpaid team in there, and that's the Charlotte Hornets, and the bid amount on that was $19.50. So does anybody want to pick up the Charlotte Hornets and the contenders draft picks? So I need a home for the Cubs and the White Sox and luminaries, and I need a home for the Hornets and contenders draft picks. So who wants to jump in and help out so that we can move on down the road here tonight and actually get some breaks underway? If you don't want to pay what the last bid amount was, then jump in and make an offer so that we can keep things rolling here tonight, as opposed to kind of in a little holding pattern where we are right now. Okay, nobody's even in chat. Nobody wants to talk at all tonight, huh? All right, then I guess we will move forward with contenders draft picks basketball. Luminaries break will be pushed back because that has a higher outstanding payment awaiting than contenders draft picks does. So we're going to do things in a little opposite order than I originally would have intended. Give me a moment, please, to make a notation on the spreadsheet of what is unpaid here in this break. And we'll just move onward and do contenders draft picks first. All right, let's get a little info going here for that. Okay, so it's going to be 6 boxes. They are loose boxes. They are from a shared case, as I mentioned in the listing description. So it is not a case that I got the entire case. I got half and someone else got half. So these are loose boxes. And of course, this ended tonight on eBay, the 4th of September, Wednesday night, the release night. Once again, the Charlotte Hornets are available in here if someone would like to pick them up. They are unpaid. Another lovely evening where lots of people bid and don't pay. Always love it when that happens. And we've got to do one more little thing, and that is change up the focus. So you're going to see there that the background is going out of focus a little, and that is by design, so please don't let that concern you. It's going to allow us to see our cards up even closer than we would have otherwise been able to. Hi, Jay Allen. Yeah, luminaries, again, we've got 2 unpaid teams in there, the Cubs and the White Sox, that need to find a home. Someone wants to pick those up. They're unpaid. And then we have the Charlotte Hornets here in contenders draft picks that is also sitting unpaid. Obviously, once we get started, the Hornets won't be available, but the other stuff is. M. Becker, the Hornets, the last bid amount for the Hornets was like $19, but you know what, at this point I just want to get it a home, so if you don't want to pay what it was, you let me know. And the Cubs and the White Sox, let me go back and look at that again real quickly, guys. The Cubs were 42, the White Sox were 37. Again, preference is going to go to somebody who wants 2 or more of these teams. If nobody wants 2 or more, we'll sell them out individually. And if you don't want to pay what the bid amount was, then you need to throw me an offer out there. And let's try to keep on moving down the road here. So M. Becker or Cow Collector, any interest in any of those teams? Hornets in this break or the Cubs and the White Sox in the other break? G. Harding says you paid for the Hornets. Then you must have just paid for the Hornets because it is showing that they are unpaid. Let me check them again. So I guess you got here just in the nick of time. All right. Well, very good. So the Hornets are now paid. So now we just are dealing with the White Sox and the Cubs in the next break in Luminaries. If anyone is interested in picking those up, then we will have those 2 available. Cow Collector, you're offering $65 for both. What did I say they were combined? I don't know. It's somewhere near that, isn't it? If you give me a second here, I'll take a look at it and see where we are with it. I think they were, what, like I don't know, probably closer to 80, but that's not terribly far out of line, all things considered. So give me just 1 second here, Cow Collector. And if you want them both, we can probably make that happen. Let me ask you this. Have you got a package coming already so that I will know what's what with that? All right, so you're looking at 65. All right. So you're at, yeah, so that's actually, well, because they sold originally for 79. That's reasonable. That's fine. And you've already got a team coming, so I wouldn't have to pay for separate shipping. So yeah, Cow Collector, that's fine. What I'm going to do right now is type in here the email that I use for PayPal. Now, I do not use this email for correspondence, okay? So guys, don't send me messages. I'll never see them. But this is where I get PayPal payment. It's an old school email, I know. So Cow Collector, if you want to send that over, I'm going to get these other two canceled out here on eBay. And then the Cubs and the White Sox are going to be yours as soon as I can get this squared away. Give me 1 second here to get it taken care of. And if you would just hit me up and let me know, Cow Collector, when you have sent over the payment to take care of the Cubs and the White Sox. And let me get this canceled on here. Thank you all for your patience. It's always a drag when we have this go on. I know it's never as much fun. It always slows things down, but it happens more than I would like, that's for sure. Cubs and the White Sox. Let me get this done. All right, that's the Cubbies. And the White Sox. All right. So there we go. We are all squared away with that, and obviously we're breaking this basketball first. So that's going to give you a little bit of time to roll over there and do what you need to do, and we'll just touch base back with you. Okay, so obviously this is a collegiate product. What that means to you is that all these guys go to their current team, okay? So wherever they were drafted, or if they were drafted and traded, wherever they were drafted and traded, etc. And some of these I'm going to remember. Honestly, a lot of them I'm probably not, because the draft's been several weeks back, and I just haven't committed most of them to memory. This guy, however, I believe is, I think, the Orlando Magic, perhaps. Okiki, I think he's the Magic. Now, again, I know that I am saying I think right now, but understand that I will actually go verify it before it goes out the door to you, all right? And some of them I may not even remember well enough to tell you one way or the other, but a few of them I remember. And here we have Kai Bowman, and I don't remember Kai at all. And let me see if I happen to write him down. Every once in a while I'll write down ones I don't remember. So I'm just checking here to see if I did write him down anywhere. No, I don't think I did. So he's one I'll definitely have to look up later, because I don't know him right now. By the time we break this again, I will have probably memorized most of the draft list between the sorting and the breaking and the shipping and all that. But right now, there's so many I just don't remember. Terrence Davis is out next. And of course, all the cards ship, even all these base cards and inserts and all this stuff, it all ships. So if you see it go by and it belongs to you, you are going to get it. Cody Martin comes out next. And most of these, yeah, I don't really remember Cody Martin either. I'm more likely to remember like your first 10 or so. And after that, I'm afraid I don't do as good a job remembering them. At this stage in the game, anyway. Amir Coffee comes out next. And some of these guys, I intended for this, of course, originally to be the second break of the night. And I could have spent a little time looking some of those up. But as it is, of course, we had to move back Luminaries, which is now going to be the second break of the night. And we have one numbered to 10 out for Naz Reid. Our first numbered card that I've seen. That looks like the Mojo pattern, by the way, on there. Shayok. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, but that's who it is. Of course, we're after some of the big fish in here, Zion being one of the main ones. Obviously, a lot of hype around him. He was excellent at Duke. Our #1 overall draft pick, has very high expectations, and I think his sales prices reflect that these days. Cow Collector, you got it squared. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. And hi, Greg, to you. Haven't seen you in a while, Greg. Have you been? Lots of base in here, obviously. O'Shea Brissett. I see another one right behind it there. Is Jalen Horde is coming out right there where we cut the deck, isn't it? And another numbered one. A draft ticket for Bradley Beal, numbered to 75. And of course, he's the Wizards' current player. As in, not a rookie. But I think you knew what I meant. Isaiah Roby. Robert Franks. So far, most of these guys I'm not recognizing as being at least early out in the draft. They're probably somewhere in the later part, I would assume, the majority of them, but Romeo Langford played not too awfully far from me at IU, and we know who took Romeo. That's the Celtics. So the Boston Celtics have one on the board that we know of, or that I know of. Phil Booth. Jason, we had to move Luminaries back to the second spot because there was some unpaid stuff on it, and this one only had one unpaid team, which actually ended up getting paid right as we were in the process of getting this break started. Yeah, so Luminaries got pushed back to the second break of the night because we were sitting on some unpaid stuff. So you did not miss it. That's the good news. Oh, you like Romeo, but you're not a Celtics fan? Yeah, listen, Romeo Langford, pretty good down the road at IU. And I'm interested to see what he does up there with the Celtics. Now, you know I'm going to butcher this in all kinds of hideous ways. Brazakis, I'm sure, is not even close to the way you say his name. But anyway, you can at least see it on the card to know how it is spelled, because I completely butchered it, no doubt. Yeah, there's no way I got that even close to correct. Nasir Little, a trailblazer. He's a round one kind of guy. Late round one, I think. Maybe somewhere down in the mid to low 20s, I think. Ooh, gonna have something else. Numbered with a hollow foil to 99 with our man Luka. Mr. Doncic for the Mavericks. An autograph for Max Struss. And an autograph for Chris Wilkes. And Chris here is numbered to 15 on a college ticket hollow foil, and to 15. I'm trying to think if Chris Wilkes. I don't think he was. If he was round one, he was maybe later in round one, I think. I'm not really remembering him off the top of my head either. I do wish they would bring this product out closer after the draft. You know, they bring out all the stuff for the NFL, like, as the draft is going on. They've already released Score Football. It is so much easier to commit it to memory when you've just watched the draft and then you immediately start, breaking and sorting the product. It's 1,000 times easier to remember it than when the draft is way in the rearview mirror and then they bring out the products. And another one I'm going to butcher, Conate. Yeah, butchered it. Certain of it. O'Shea Brissett, we saw him already, didn't we? I think this is a duplicate for O'Shea Brissett. I think it is. We'll, of course, go back through the autographs by way of a recap at the end. I already cut the plastic on those, maybe, but I'll always cut it again. There were some guys this year that went down in the second round that I think probably will be pretty good, but, you never know. Sometimes the college game doesn't translate well to the NBA, but, there was that kid from Tennessee, Admiral Schofield. I liked that kid a bit in college. I think he ended up going second round, and, of course, didn't Ball fall down into the second round? I think he did as well. But I'm not as high on him, though. I mean, I don't know. He seems like he's a bit of a work in progress, but I do like Admiral Schofield. Of course, he played in the SEC, so I saw him play more often. Chris Wilkes. We may have already seen Chris Wilkes come out once, too, but if so, this would be the second time for him. G. Harding, no, it's just a half case tonight, so the half case of this, and then, of course, we'll do the half case of Luminaries after we finish up this little break here tonight. Tyus Battle is out next. And Tyus, gosh, I remember Tyus, but why can't I think where he goes? He goes somewhere. Let me see if I wrote him down, because he's one that I know I would tend to forget. But I guess I didn't write him down either, so, all right. It will be easier the second time, believe me. I will have learned most of these guys by then, if not all of them. Lugent's Dort. Yeah, your guess is as good as mine. How to say his name. Justin James is out behind that. He's Timberwolves, maybe the guy that just went by, the Dort. Yeah, he might be. The only one I can think of, the T-Wolves, they did their first round was like a trade, wasn't it? Because they had Cam Johnson or somebody like that, but then they traded him off to the Sixers, maybe. And then I don't remember how the flip side of that trade looked. To 99, a hollow foil draft ticket for Devin Booker and the Suns. Actually, they may have traded him to the Suns. The T-Wolves and Cam Johnson. He may have actually gotten traded to the Suns. I may have said, thought Sixers, but when I see Devin Booker, I'm thinking, maybe it was the Suns. Tyler Hero. Hey, I know where this guy goes. He's the Miami Heat. Yeah, Chris, this is a typical contenders break. There's no, it's just the same as contenders football, really. It's a lot of base and then a few autographs. It's rare to get a lot of numbered stuff in any contenders break. It's kind of few and far between in this particular card set. Dedrick Lawson is out next. Yeah, it's just really all about multiple autographs and tons and tons and tons of base. In fact, most people, well, I shouldn't say most, a lot of breakers don't even ship the base in contenders because it's so plentiful that it has really virtually no value. But I generally do, especially out of first product of the year. So obviously we are tonight. But this is our first product with 1920 rookies. So yeah, I figure everybody wants the base out of this one, regardless. When you get to contenders football, it never comes out until December. By then we've seen 40 million different rookie cards. M. Becker, you're ready for the real NBA. I know. It's, Panini's, the way they do their cards is so odd. I really wish that they would, we've been opening all of last season's stuff so long after the draft. And for me, I'd rather have started getting the rookies and, as you say, the hype right after the draft all the way up until the season starts. But they don't follow along the way I like. So here is a cracked ice, our first cracked ice of the night. It is numbered to 23. It is a college ticket for DeAndre Hunter. Now, DeAndre was drafted by the Lakers, but he, I think, then went to the Pelicans and then went maybe somewhere else in between. But anyway, he ends up, I believe, with the Hawks when it's all said and done. You guys correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe DeAndre Hunter is an Atlanta Hawk. I know he was drafted by the Lakers, but I'm pretty sure then he was traded around maybe to the Pelicans and whatnot, but I believe the Hawks is where he currently resides. Well, yeah, M. Becker, for sure. The price tags on these guys, the early releases, they sell really well. And that's another reason I wish we would start right after the draft like they do in football. But they don't do it that way for these for some reason. And there's Moses Brown. So, we were opening last season's product. Well, I think there's even still a little bit left of 18-19, isn't there, that we still have to account for in the new releases? But I don't know. I guess they have their reasons for doing it the way they do it. But I would rather always, once we know who the rookies are, yeah, let's go get them. That's the most fun. There's to 75, D'Angelo Russell for the Golden State Warriors. Now, of course, he's in a Nets uniform, but guys, it'll tell you on there the traded to information. But the important part is that little team thing there on the back. That little logo tells us where he's going to go. Oh, you were talking about you don't like the base autographs, the card, the look for the base autographs. I gotcha. I misunderstood what you were saying there, Chris. That's on me, man. Sorry. That was Chris Wilkes. Sometimes, you know, I'm glancing over and I'm catching bits and pieces of things in chat while I'm doing the break, and I just missed part of what you said. So sorry about that. My friend, that one is on me. A season ticket, cracked ice to 23 for Mr. Kevin Durant. And he's in a Golden State uniform, goes to the Nets. So a reverse of what we just saw a minute ago with D'Angelo Russell. They just kind of flip-flopped, kind of traded places, didn't they? A little bit. Dedrick Lawson. And who's sitting back here? Man, we have seen this guy a lot. Is this maybe the third time we've seen him tonight? O'Shea Brissett. We've seen him a lot. Well, you know, M. Becker, the prices probably are not going to really change very much until after the season gets underway. Well, for most of them, especially not for Zion. And if he turns out to be better or as good or better as we think he is, then they're only going to go up. I mean, I remember this time last year, I was all into Luka, and that's who I was interested in. And, you know, at that point, Luka had some interest for sure, but the more he played and the better he got, his prices just went higher and higher and higher and higher. So that's always the risk that you run, you know, when you're trying to play the market, so to speak. If they turn out better than you expect, prices are not gonna even out. But if they stay the same or maybe get worse, well, then the prices will go down, but not in a good way, I guess. Chris, you're looking for Culver. Oh, Jay Allen, the last autograph was Tyus Battle, wasn't it? I believe that it was Tyus Battle, the last one that went by. We'll, of course, recap it there in a second. Good grief. This is like autograph number 9,050 for O'Shea Brissett. So, my goodness, that's like an extraordinary number of autographs for that same guy. Okay, Rudy, we have not seen any Zion in this break. We have not even seen a lot of first round stuff in this break. A few, but not an incredible amount. Here's another Nasir Little for the Blazers. The second one out for him too, I think. So, yeah, no Zion yet, anyway. We've got a few more left to look for in here. This is Ani. Your guess is as good as mine as to which way that is pronounced. And a draft ticket numbered 275. That's a little hollow foil De'Aaron Fox for the Kings. Hey, this is the guy I was talking about earlier that I liked. Played for Tennessee, Admiral Schofield. He's a second round guy. I think taken by the 76ers, but he was traded maybe to the Wizards. I know he didn't stay where he was drafted. I think traded to the Wizards on Admiral. We've seen a lot for this guy tonight, too. Chris Wilkes. We've seen him in here a lot. And another Dedrick Lawson. All right, so let's recap this. We'll take a look at our numbered first. This is numbered to 75, De'Aaron Fox and the Kings. Then we have numbered to 23, a little cracked ice, Kevin Durant for the Nets. Once again, ignore the uniform, guys. It's the team that's on the card that is the important part, not the uniform. And then we have the Golden State Warriors, D'Angelo Russell to 75. And a little Devin Booker to 99 for the Phoenix Suns. Luka to 99 for the Mavericks. To 75, it's Bradley Beal and the Wizards. And then we have Naz Reid to 10. Now our autographs, once again, these guys will go to their current teams. As you know, most of them I don't remember from the draft. It's been too long back, so I'm just going to call them off by their names as we go. So Dedrick Lawson, Chris Wilkes, Admiral Schofield, Ani, Nasir Little. He is a Trailblazer. That one I do know. O'Shea Brissett, Tyus Battle, O'Shea Brissett again, Dedrick Lawson again, Chris Wilkes again, Moses Brown, and here's a nice little DeAndre Hunter. That's to 23. It's a college ticket. It's cracked ice. That's actually a pretty good little hit as well. And I'm fairly certain, guys, that he is a Hawk. I know he wasn't drafted by the Hawks, but he was traded. I want to say maybe to NOLA and then to the Hawks, but I think he's Atlanta. Dedrick Lawson, Tyler Hero. He is, of course, the Miami Heat. Justin James, Dort, Tyus Battle, a second one, another Chris Wilkes, another O'Shea Brissett, Conate. And this one is numbered to 15, a little hollow foil here for Chris Wilkes. We've seen quite a bit of Chris Wilkes, but that is the first numbered one anyway, and low numbered at that, 15. Max Struss, Nasir Little, once again as Trailblazers. Brazdeikis, I'm sure that's wrong. Phil Booth to 99. Romeo Langford. I like little old Romeo for the Boston Celtics. Robert Franks, Isaiah Roby, Jalen Horde, O'Shea Brissett, Shayon, Amir Coffey, Cody Martin, Terrence Davis, Kai Bowman, and Okiki. Oh, I forgot we pulled Okiki. I forgot all about him. He is the Magic. I'm fairly sure that Okiki was the Magic. You said all the duplicates are reminding you of Stadium Club baseball. It's giving you a flashback. Yeah, I mean, sometimes they don't do the best job in the world randomizing. That is for sure. Yeah, I'm not going to argue with you on that. And honestly, that's been the case lately with just about anybody. Panini, Topps, the whole shebang. They've, kind of dropped the ball in that regard a bit in the last year or two in particular, it seems. For those of you who missed it earlier, here's what you need to know. The free shipping break, which is Luminaries, that is coming up. Free shipping stuff is always projected to go out no later than a week after the fact. Now, usually it goes usually it goes faster, often much faster, but it will not be any later than that. If you get skunked in Luminaries that is upcoming and you don't pull a card of any type, your consolation card would typically be held and shipped with your next package simply because it is a free shipping break. However, if you do get skunked and you don't want to wait for your next package, send me a message and let me know, and I will happily get that on the way to you. Now, our paid shipping break is the one we just completed. That was Draft Picks Basketball. I'm anticipating having that out the door and on the way to you approximately Saturday. As always, if I can get something done sooner than that date and get it on the way faster, I will. If something unexpected happens, it could always go to Monday, but I think that's unlikely. I expect it to be Saturday. And in the unlikely event that you didn't pull any cards of any sort in there, you would get your consolation cards with the rest of the break because it was, of course, a paid shipping break on this one. Okay. Well, Jason, yeah, I mean, this was loose boxes, and that's why it said that in the, I didn't get anything, so I do appreciate the fact there that you're trying to accuse me of taking good cards out of the case, which is, kind of absurd. But the listing did clearly state these are loose boxes. They're from a shared case, so I only got half of the case. That's because the distributor shipped me 1.5 cases, so the half case still gets broken. I don't have the other half of the case. I didn't open the other half of the case, and I didn't get any cards out of the other half of the case, Jason. So you saw what we opened there live. I have no control over what came out of there, nor do I have any control over what came out of the other half of the case that I did not receive because it was not allocated to me. So that is why the listing stated quite clearly that they were loose boxes from a shared case, Jason. And that is so people who don't want to do those kinds of breaks don't have to do those kinds of breaks. So next up is a half case of Luminaries Baseball, and this is break number 1. It is the start of a new case. So what will happen is we will take all of the boxes out and we'll number them on the end and use random.org to determine which ones we open tonight and which ones are opened in the next part of the break, which will be, I think, on Friday night. And of course, this release today ended tonight on eBay Wednesday night, the 4th of September. And of course, we had 2 teams in here which were unpaid. Those are the Cubs and the White Sox, and those were sold out by way of second chance. Here in chat to Cow Collector, we had a few teams that are not on the checklist as having hits, so they were not listed for sale. That would be the Diamondbacks, the Rockies, the Marlins, and the Tampa Bay Rays. So they were not listed for sale at all. Now everybody else, of course, you see your name there across from your team. So we got to first get all these out, and then we're going to number them on the end, and then we will use random.org, and that will figure out what gets opened where. All right, so the easy part, numbering them on the end. I'll bring you along with me when we go over here to random in a moment, and random will type in 1 through 12, hit randomize one single time, and then we will take the first 6 numbers that come up. We're going to open those corresponding 6 boxes. The remaining 6, of course, will be opened in break number 2. All right, so there is our 1 through 12. And we're going to randomize this and see how we come up. It is 7, 2, 11, 5, 4, and 12. 2, 4, 5, 7, 11, 12. All right. 2, 4, 5, 7, and there's 11 and 12. All right, let me get the other half put back in their case, and I will be right back with you. So, of course, this is a good high-end product. It's only been out a couple years, I guess. Is this the third year for it, maybe? I don't remember. Second or third year, I think. Changed up to the release date a little bit. The first year it came out was late, like November or something. And then they've changed it in the calendar, which I like a little bit better. And what we look for in here is just simple. It is one encased autograph or autographed relic card per box. So there is not a lot in here. And what we get, though, is usually pretty nice. So first up there is Don Mattingly getting things started off here. And that is numbered to 15 for the Yankees, who always seem to do really well in luminaries, don't they? Probably why the bid price is what it is for the Yankees, because they usually do pretty well in here. Frank Thomas, the Big Hurt, is numbered to 5 for the White Sox. So a nice little pickup there for the White Sox, Cal Collector. So there's the mojo repaying you for picking up those unpaid teams, my friend. So congrats on the Big Hurt for your Chicago White Sox. Another one for the Yankees. This one, Aaron Judge. Aaron is numbered to 10. I will say I liked the card design last year a bit better than I like this year's card design. I don't dislike this one, but it's a little busy, you know. Usually I think of the higher end products as being just a very kind of simple, clean design. This design to me has a lot going on with it, but I still like it. Oh, that is my man, Johnny Bench. You all know I love Johnny Bench and Hank Aaron, my two favorites ever. That is numbered to 10 with the man, Johnny Bench, and the Cincinnati Reds. Fernando Tatis Jr., nice hit for the Padres with your rookie. He's out for the year, sadly, with an injury, but he's had a good rookie season, numbered to 15, and I am sure will have a long career ahead. I like that kid. So Padres with a good one. And we are at our last one, so last box mojo here on this half case of luminaries. If I can manage to get it open. Let's see who's in it. Oh, Juan Soto. That kid has been on fire this year, hasn't he? That is numbered to 5 for the Nationals. And, I mean, he has just been playing lights out lately. So not a bad little haul out of this half of luminaries. Juan Soto to 5 for the Washington Nationals. Fernando Tatis to 15, San Diego Padres. My man Johnny Bench, numbered to 10 for the Cincinnati Reds. Aaron Judge and the Yankees to 10. The Big Hurt, numbered to 5 for the Chicago White Sox. And the last one we're looking at, which was the first one out, to 15, it is Don Mattingly and the Yankees. All right, guys and gals, let's do one more spin through the spreadsheet info here, just for anybody who jumped in after the fact. I'm not going to read through it all again about the consolation part, but suffice to say, luminaries on the way no later than a week from today, probably sooner, definitely no later, and contenders draft picks on the way roughly Saturday. And here's what it looks like in the days ahead. Tomorrow night, Trinity 5-star and NT Collegiate all by the full case. Friday, the back half of this Luminaries case that we started tonight, and a full case of Chronicles baseball. On Saturday, it is a master case of unparalleled football. That is 2 8-box inner cases making up our 16-box master case. Sunday night is an off night. On Monday night, it's kind of a rinse and repeat of Thursday. We will once again do Trinity 5-star and NT Collegiate all by the full case. So that has got me finished up for tonight. Did I forget to show you that? I did, didn't I? I was talking about it, and I forgot to show it to you. So there it is again, because I just let you look at the blank page, didn't I? So yeah, that's all the stuff I just said that I thought I had switched you on to, and yet I had not, but now I have. So now you can see what I was talking about. But anyway, that is how we're shaping up in the days ahead. I think that has got us wrapped up here for tonight. And thank you, everyone, for being here. Always appreciate it. I hope you have a great rest of your evening. I will be back at it tomorrow night. So if I don't see you then, hopefully I will see you again soon. Enjoy your week, and we'll be back at it tomorrow. Bye now.